the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody.
Is your mic on there? Okay.
Yep.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
I second.
Whatever.
First from Bruce,
Either
second
way,
from Carl.
whatever way you write it
What
works.
he called it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Approve the minutes from 9/18/17.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from 9/18/17.
I will second.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. General public concerns. You ready to talk here, Nate? Yes. I think so. Yeah, if you want to come up here, that'd be fine. Gary Fisher.
Gary Fisher?
Door.
To the Humboldt County Supervisors, request to clean out and restore the original grade level and right-of-way permit has been reviewed and denied by the county engineer and the board of supervisors. Earlier this spring, Paul Jacobson and Supervisor Lee were stopped by Gary Fisher on the road to address the issue of road ditch cleanout. After much discussion, Gary Fisher understood that there was no such permit available to work in the right-of-way to remove dirt. I was quite surprised to hear from the county attorney, Jonathan Betty, that a permit may be applied for at the county engineer's office. If I understood Paul Jacobson correctly, that such a permit was available and could be reviewed by the board of supervisors, I would gladly obtain such a permit. I have signed work orders for the last 2 years to have the ditch cleaned out with no action taken to date. What has to happen to get work requested by this county accomplished? Paul Jacobson has told me on 2 occasions or more he would like to see Washington Avenue cleaned out as a direct north-south road from Highway 3 to Blacktop C-54. This spring, he also told me that on Washington Avenue, from 260th Street to 250th Street was to be cleaned out. As of today, no work has been done in that area. It's all been flagged out by Iowa 1 call this spring early. Today, again, I'm going to ask for a work order to get the road ditch cleaned out and giving permission to the board of supervisors and the county engineer to place the dirt inside my property line. This would be the cheapest way for Humboldt County taxpayers to get the work done that is needed to be done, reducing the cost of having to truck it to a dirt pile somewhere and the amount of manpower that is available today. In the Humboldt paper, it also stated that the work I wanted done should be denied because of appearances. I'd like to have the board tell me what appearances Paul Jacobson is referring to. I took it was the appearance of the road ditch after I got done working on it. If it's different than that, I'd like to know. I have 5 pictures here that I want to show you how it looked before. I worked in the right-of-way using my scraper with a laser attached to it. Before I obtained the farmland 2 years ago, the pictures show it had been farmed within 6 feet of a gravel road. Also, I have seeded the road ditch down with ryegrass now, which is starting to grow. This should make the appearance much more appealing to the county engineer. Past comments from the Humboldt paper article, discussions have been suggested that the county may need to hire outside help to get work done. What has been done on this suggestion? What is the current status of Paul Jacobson contract that he was on probation for 6 months? In the future, will permits be available, if needed, to mow the road ditches and spray the weeds in the right-of-way? Is the road ditch issue. Now we get into the drainage ditch. How do I get action to install a new surface drain culvert in a drainage ditch number 3, where water has to flow through my field for approximately 700 feet before it goes to a surface drain into the ditch? Also, I have a culvert in the drainage ditch number 3 in the road right-of-way. It's a branch of this ditch that you're cleaning out, and they have not started at the bridge and cleaned, 300 feet farther west, I guess, to where they have actually cleaned out already. My main tile runs down the road ditch, and if this could be cleaned out, I wouldn't have to ask to have this culvert raised up. The culvert is like they all do after snow and ice and years of drainage. This is the questions I have. If you would like to show you, have a copy of the letter for each one of you if you like. This is what the farm looked like before I started working on it. You can see that in the past it has been farmed within 6 feet of the road shoulder. This will show looking south where I have not cleaned the ditch out because I cannot get my scraper down in there. Also at the south end, next to the bridge, is a culvert in the road ditch. That looks like this. This is another intake in the road ditch, similar to the one that I had worked around. I had requested several times to have that corrected. This is a picture of the intake after I worked in the road ditch. We have much better flow for water to get away. That's all I have.
So you're requesting that we relook at your permit request?
I'm not gonna ask you to ask for the permit to work in the right-of-way. I'm going to ask that you make sure to see that Paul Jacobson gets out there and cleans that ditch out.
Okay.
May I ask a question? I've not been out there, but I've heard our discussion here many times. The purpose for cleaning it right away is to protect the road, not to drain the farmer's field.
Correct.
What would that be? I don't know what I'm talking about. Is that part of the problem, maybe? Is it gonna help the road situation by cleaning the ditch, or is it gonna help your cornfield? Or both?
Combination of both.
Okay, I didn't know.
If you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 intakes in the road ditch running south to the drainage ditch, and none of them can work properly because the ditch is silted in from years and years, back in the 60s, 70s, when we had such big dust storms. Road ditches are filled up. It's I won't call it a low-grade road, but I won't call it a high-grade road either. I mean, it's a lower area down through there. They have frost boils in the spring. You always haul rock out there because the water can't get away.
What section is that in?
Section 10.
Of Norway?
Washington Avenue.
Now, down there by the dredge ditch, your tile comes and runs into that dredge ditch down there by the bridge?
Correct.
Okay, now, we're gonna clean out all the way, back up to Willow, where that dredge ditch
Well, you are.
starts.
Yeah,
That is
we're gonna
get
clean
cleaned
that
up.
branch of the ditch.
Yes.
Thank you. I was unaware of that.
Yeah, that is scheduled.
Who is the contractor?
Brandon Myers.
Myers, is it?
Yeah, Brandon Myers is gonna do it.
Thank you, I was not aware of that. That clears up that question.
Yeah.
We did the other one and then went back and took a second look at it, and we decided we needed the whole thing cleaned.
The first one wasn't surveyed from my property on south down to that first bridge there. And this current contractor has went in there and cleaned that before he ever started cleaning the rest of the ditch. I'm wondering why the engineering firm that you've hired didn't survey that curve back to that bridge.
I think they did, yeah.
There was no
Because that's where the
survey.
contractor was supposed to start, by that second bridge. Or the second.
I guess I never seen any flags there, that's why I questioned it.
Well, that's where they were supposed to start, down by the other one, come up by the first bridge there, closest to you, and then go back west.
Okay, so I'm glad you guys went back and had him redig that, because it was not dug correctly
Oh,
to
yeah,
begin with.
they did a terrible
Beginning.
job, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they worked out there a couple days, and then we went out and stopped them, and
yep.
they built a new bucket for their machine.
Their bucket was not correct to start
No,
with.
No, so they went to the shop and built a new bucket, and then they've been doing a much better job.
It does look better.
Those guys?
Yeah.
So back to your question on, you applied to have that ditch cleaned out. You said
I did
several
not
times? Or you did not? You didn't?
Wait a minute, excuse me, I did not apply for a permit,
No, you went in and asked secondary roads to clean it.
yes.
You know
Two
when,
occasions.
how long ago that's been?
Well, this has been going on for 2 years, so it would've been 2 years ago I applied, and then this spring again I applied.
See, that's the exact reason why, in my opinion, we need to have some type of chart, so that we can trace when he applies, Paul responds, we're sitting here a year later, and we still don't know what.
Well, from my understanding, they had planned to clean that ditch, and then use the dirt on that box culvert south of Thor there.
That is correct. If you look at 260th Street to 250th Street, where, Mike Dorn's lives, that's the one that was flagged to be cleaned out to use for the dirt on the
Yeah.
box culvert over there.
It never got done either.
No. So when I asked the assistant county engineer about that, he said that the contractor got there quicker than they thought he would, and that they went ahead and finished the whole project, didn't have to clean that dirt out.
That's what I heard.
Okay. That was my understanding.
I think that's correct.
Okay.
But I guess as far as the, or when you wanted to work in the road ditch, or in the right of way, that's just, isn't that Humboldt's practice? That they don't allow?
Yeah, 'cause
Because the next thing you know, we've got guys that'll go out there and they'll scrape a chunk out of the ditch so that your water will come, and that's really not our obligation, is to drain the water out of the field so that it helps your crop or helps. That ditch provides water relief for our road, correct?
That is correct, yep.
And I guess that was my assumption, that when we saw pictures of, you'd been out in the ditch, that you'd went ahead and started doing it without anything.
that's the one we got.
Wasn't that the way it was explained to us?
Yeah.
No, we're starting.
But I'm curious to know when, if what date you applied to have it cleaned out, and if you were ever talked to, said, well, we'll try to get to it, we aren't gonna do it, we may do it, that's my curiosity, I guess. And I can understand your, being upset and, you know, almost to the point of, well, I'm just gonna do it myself, and
If I had known a permit was available to work in the right of way, I would gladly chose that route to go down. Right after visiting with Paul and David was in the pickup that day, with the discussions, it sounded to me like there was no way that I was gonna work in that ditch no matter what.
Well, we do allow people to work in the ditches because utilities are always putting stuff in their ditches. I don't think we've had a farmer get a permit to clean the road ditch before, though, as far as I know.
I don't remember one being on in a couple of years that I've been here that we've ever approved, other than
Utilities.
putting a utility or putting, if a farmer wants to put a drive in.
And most generally, when we do clean them out, we need the dirt ourselves,
Well,
for some other purpose rather than give it back.
And it seems like that he won't dig any dirt out unless he can use it somewhere or else stockpile it.
We stockpile it.
And that, to me, is extra expense of hauling it out, stockpiling it, and then load it up
The
again.
next project, we may have to buy dirt if we don't have a stockpile, though, so.
You should never have to buy dirt with a bunch of dirt that's in the
No.
road ditches.
No.
Do you farm, stencilings on down to the bridge down there?
I obtained that, 2 years ago, yes.
All right,
And I
well,
don't, and the other thing was them intakes. I don't understand why all of our intakes aren't cleaned around. I mean, that's the purpose of them being in the ditch. And I think that, in my opinion, and I don't wanna be the bad guy, but in my opinion, every one of those intakes that are in the ditch, and if they are bent over, half covered with cobs and corn stalks, it's plugging our tile going like his down to the dredge ditch. And as dry as it's been, we should've been doing that all summer. That's my opinion.
Yeah, those cleaned off.
Do they have the manpower and equipment available to do that?
We have the equipment. We have
I
all
know you
kinds
have
of
the
equipment.
But, is the management of getting the work done sufficient?
you know what, probably not. You know, and it's getting back, you know, we're going back to the permitting thing, which, and I do believe you were never informed of a permit. It would have been, as we know the story to date, a very well presented story, that had you applied for a permit, the very least, it would have brought the attention of your situation to light. And Bruce, like, alluded that sometimes we just don't know about this. Obviously, working in the ditch, you know, and not saying you're not doing a very good job. You mentioned lasers, you mentioned grade, elevation. You know, the concern is, we won't argue that maybe it's very well done. Most people wouldn't do it that well. But the application of a permit would have brought the whole situation to light, and that would have been in front of the board to say that this particular ditch, when we appreciate the fact that you do not farm in the right-of-way, that's a point that's well thought of, then it would have been, okay, and kind of ties everything together. There's intakes in the ditch, they're not working, the grade is not correct, it needs to be corrected, let's get it corrected. And it would have been done in a, you know, in a manner.
That's the interaction of, if he applied for it, and no, we're gonna clean it, or we got someone coming that's gonna come up that and clean out, so at least we can tie all of the loose
It would
ends
have,
together.
if the permit would have put more of this in motion and been brought to the attention of everyone instead of swept under the rug, you weren't really even informed about a permit, you know, even if it would have been denied, then everyone would have known about the situation, and it's been fairly recent history that Dave was out there. So probably fairly poorly handled in some respects. fully appreciate that it probably is a ditch that needs to be cleaned out. You know, yeah, we want it done properly, and protocol, grade, so on and so forth, but Bruce brings up a good point. There's a lot of these that the maintenance is extremely poor. For what reasons?
Well, if we're not doing work so that we can stockpile our
Yeah.
dirt when we need the dirt,
No.
then that, to me, is,
It's
it's a loss.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that we don't get his ditch cleaned out. I'm using his as an example only because, well, if we need that for a driveway or a culvert or
Wait
a
till
tile,
we need it.
so we're gonna wait till we need it, then the next thing you know, the weather changes
Exactly.
and we don't get it done, and then all of a sudden we're next year and we still don't have it done.
That's a very poor protocol. We do have phenomenal stockpiles of dirt if in case of an emergency. Personally, I'm not too concerned about running out of dirt, as far as dirt is concerned.
Well, the dirt didn't come from the south side of Thor.
Right.
That dirt probably came, a pretty good chunk of it from
Come out of the field
the
originally.
field there originally.
To Mr.
He allowed us to
Fisher's
just
other
slip it in
point,
there. That's
very, I think very agreeable, that if the ditch would be cleaned out, you're allowing them to place the dirt into your field.
Yep.
You'll deal with it in what regard.
Yep.
So it's should be fairly quick, efficient, get it done correctly, properly. And I'm not so certain that if things were followed in a better manner and protocol, this might be just an example of a lot of other right-of-way areas in the county that if the landowner was discussed with, whether he brought it up, or the county had an issue or concern that maybe this ditch does need to be cleaned, let's talk with the landowner. Let's see what we can do with them. And can that dirt just be put in your field, Mr. Farmer, landowner? Certainly. Then that would expedite the process extremely. We don't need to truck it from here 10 miles and build up in one gigantic stockpile. So I think this is something that we have discussed. This brings up a good point of further discussion to take care of, in this case, ditch cleanouts and maintenance. A lot better handled than what has been done to date.
Guesstimate, I know you don't have a crystal ball. When is it beans or corn along there? It's all corn?
Beans. There's 80 acres of corn, and then the rest of it's all beans, and I don't care if they cover my corn up.
Well, now it's gonna get better than the $3.
So...
Well, I'm just saying, well, I don't think we're in that big a rush, but
I know we can't, I know from past history that it won't get done that quick.
Right.
And I'm not worried about having
I
a crop out.
understand.
If things continue like they have in the past.
Right. Well, we appreciate it.
All right, well, thanks, Gary, for coming
Thank you
in.
very much.
I'd take a copy of your letter, if you have one for us.
Yeah. What is the status with Paul with his contract? Has it been renewed, or where is it at now currently?
It is current until 1st of January, I believe.
Which the current is, it's on a 6-month probation. What it was.
Everybody else on it?
You guys want one?
I think I got an extra one.
I thought I had enough.
Yeah, I had them all.
They were stuck together. All right.
Another surface drain farther up in my field. How do I have to contact the Board of Supervisors, I have to contact the engineer on the project to have that looked at, or what? It's a little hard to see now because of the corn crop that's in there.
It's out in your field?
Yeah.
That's along that dredge ditch that takes clean.
Yeah. It's right where it makes a turn, about halfway,
Right in there.
about 80 rods in, yeah.
What's the issue with it?
Water comes out of my field, comes down to this curve in the ditch, and then runs down this way, 800,000 feet before it goes into the surface drain to go out into the field. Realistically, water that comes down to your field like this should go directly into the drainage ditch, rather than cutting a channel down through my field.
So you're looking to put a new pipe through into the ditch?
Correct. That's what I want to accomplish.
How does that work? The county buys the pipe?
Well-
Puts it in, how does that?
And this goes into a drainage ditch just in the process of being
I think
cleaned.
Gary can go in and talk with Trish right now, and she'll tell you the protocol to follow on that.
Okay.
Because they're gonna be fixing pipes out there now, so it'd be a good time to get it done.
Well, that's kind of why I brought it up, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, just slip in and talk to Trish and
But
she,
mine's on the north side, they're putting pipes all on the south side.
yeah.
And they got permission to go in and tear the crop up if, if I can get a pipe in there, because long-term, it's gonna benefit me.
Yeah. Go and visit with Trish about that. And,
Rick's in there too.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, there you go.
Thank you very much.
Catch two birds with one stone.
All right, thank you. All righty. Okay.
Well, he was in there, now he's probably gonna come in here.
Let's do claims quickly here before we can get this moving on.
Carl, you wanna give the right amount,
I
or?
reviewed the claims, it looks like general claims are $165,170.60. And drainage claims were $636,360.
No.
$637,049.06.
I got
37?
I got 636,049, is it 50?
And six.
I don't see no 50 on it.
Okay, that's even.
I got it even.
Jesus,
I
alright.
got it even also.
Alright, then I can't even read my own writing.
I have the same problem.
636,049.
Even, there you go.
Okay.
That was quite a mouthful, and I'll make a motion to approve that.
Second.
I have a first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
After all that, to get to that,
You got,
I gotta start writing.
Some days.
you and me both.
Okay.
Copy yours and mine.
Yes, I
Okay,
do.
let's do action on resolution 2017-10, the resolution eliminating the use of ATVs, UTVs on the
You're right,
East
you
Fork
walked
of the
in
Des
there.
Moines River.
Carl could explain, Carl had sent me the,
No.
Eric.
Eric.
Yeah, could explain this a little better.
Well, Bruce is intimately familiar because he was there. This is just, I guess, officially putting the information into public record for everyone's behalf, so that in future times, if there's ever a question about what was agreed upon to date and right now, that they can look back at this. It's basically kind of per the request of the DNR and conservation officials to get it entered into public record. And Peggy did a great job. Whether we need a resolution or not, I don't know, but it certainly is in
I
public record.
conferred with county attorney, and that's what he suggested.
It certainly is in public record. And they'll be more than happy, for everyone's sake, that this is what we did at this point in time, and it should be continuing on, because, yeah, we could address it a year from now, but the DNR folks said, well, we may not be here, something might go down the road many years, how many years, and then we can always look back and see what we did at this point.
It puts teeth in the ability to enforce.
That too, yeah, we didn't it just didn't come out of thin air, and it's really
Yeah.
been discussed, recorded, agreed upon, and it's in the public record now.
All right, can I get a motion?
I would make a motion.
Just
Wait
a
a minute.
comment, did
Oh.
the county engineer talk to any of you guys? Because he said something to me, I sent it to him, and he said this restricts...
attorney?
No, county engineer.
Nope.
It restricts the ability of the secondary road crew along the river there for access for the bridge?
No,
No.
it does not.
Okay. That's...
No, it does not.
There's a
They're
turnaround.
still in on the conservation land. They can still go in there and inspect it.
Yeah.
This is eliminating just past the conservation land where it turns into state land.
Correct.
Okay, and that may be why he's not here today, because I told him if he had any concerns with it, to show up.
No, because the access to the bridge is not affected by this. So I would make a motion to approve, resolution number 2017-10.
Okay, I have a first.
Second that.
Second by Dave. Any more discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
On the resolution require roll call
No, ordinances do.
ordinance.
Resolution is just a little bit stronger than a motion, and then the ordinance, of course, is much stronger.
Okay, let's, should we do a community reports on the drainage?
Totally up to you. I've got some other things we'll work on.
Do you?
Go ahead.
It won't take very long.
Gary's
Okay.
probably visiting with Rick,
Yeah.
that's why.
Let's go ahead and do our committee reports, and then we'll get done with Peggy, and then we'll give her, because I think, drainage isn't that crucial on you.
Okay, for Tuesday, the 19th, we had an UDMO meeting. Trying to think. That was, I'm looking at the wrong day here. On Wednesday morning, I'll try that. We started out with a advisory meeting for the UDMO, here in the court, or here in our room. So we discussed all of the things that's going on in Humboldt. We talked about the Coats for Kids, the backpack program that they've done, the food pantry that will be in November. Then we went to the hospital for the Humboldt County Ministerial Association, at noon. We visited with all the ministers. There's some issues, that they're visiting, talking about with our food pantry, some possible changes and maybe extending some hours. Then at 1:30, we had a meeting down in Fort Dodge at, for CFR, to put the financing in place, hopefully, for that new facility. And that's in, is it October 20th? Carl, you think that was when our groundbreaking is scheduled?
I get that.
October 20th, for, the groundbreaking of that new facility, and hopefully all of the pieces of the puzzle be put together. And I think that's all I had.
Had no report, no meeting this week.
I gotta go back a couple of weeks. 13th, I was at the bid letting for C-49. And on the 14th, I looked at the ditch and the drainage ditch and the tiles that were being on, by Thor. And I had a workforce development meeting at 3 o'clock on the 14th. And I got a call to go to Council Bluffs and be down there, so I missed last week, Thursday, I missed the, Board of Health meeting, but I called them and told them I wouldn't make it, so. That's all I got.
Was workforce development in Fort Dodge?
Yes.
I had no extracurricular meetings last week.
Okay, Tuesday at 1 o'clock, I met with the DNR out at our county landfills, the old one and my old one. And, a little good news there, they're gonna eliminate some of our testing, or instead of quarterly, we're down to biannually, just twice a year.
Progress.
So, and everything looked good out there. Just one little spot where there's a little bit of erosion, he said we could go out and put a little dirt in there and seed that. So that was great news. And then,
So it's the old one, the Dodge Park one, or is it the old one out?
No, that's not the old one, that's
The old one.
the second old one out here by,
Okay.
on the south side of the blacktop.
Okay.
Marietta.
Out by Martin Marietta.
Yeah, that one there, and then the one they closed out there where
All right.
the mound is. That's the one they're most concerned about, of course. The
And
other
that,
one-
the one that went to biannual,
Yes,
the old.
yeah. So they're testing instead of quarterly now, they're just doing it twice a year,
Good.
so that saves us a little money.
Yep.
And, it's looking like, you know, it's heading for permanent closure, and once they're done, so.
Good.
And then, Tuesday night, I was down to, Fort Dodge for the regional landfill meeting down there.
Are they getting a lot of them, the collection and, you know, and the hazardous waste stuff? So
Yeah,
it's
they
working
are,
good?
it's gradually increasing, they're getting better at handling it. They are looking at a mobile unit to purchase to bring up to Humboldt County. And they discussed like probably Saturday mornings would be a best time for a collection, if we can get it rotated in.
Coordinated.
So they're looking, getting funding for some sort of trailer for collection, I guess.
Does that mean monthly or weekly?
I think it'd be like once a month.
That'd be good.
That's what they're
Probably be
thinking.
more to start out with, and then as people got rid of their stuff, it'd be less.
Less, yeah. But, they're doing pretty well at that. Wednesday the 20th, I went into T.P. Anderson, signed a bunch of checks for the landfill and IDOLs, or IDDA. Thursday, 9:30, I was over in Pocahontas for the Iowa Drainage District Association meeting. That is, that lawsuit that 3 counties were involved in. They still have like $38,000 in attorney fees that they're trying to clean up. With a few more coming in, they expect somewhere between 40 to 45. We have 25,000 left in the fund that we collected from all the counties. And then they have some insurance they are hoping will help pick up the balance. Yeah, so then that will be all done. So,
Good.
that's good news. And then, that's about it.
Hardly anything.
Yeah.
Before we go to drainage, I guess another question. We talked about this nationwide retirement once, you know, and then we said we could follow up on that. I had another inquiry this weekend about somebody would like to, I told him to call you, Vicki. Edward Jones would like to get involved too, if they, I don't know where we stand on that.
I did do a little investigating into that, and what they collect for their commissions is negotiable.
Jones said they do it very, very cheap if they want to do it there. I don't know what nationwide charges.
It was 7. It was kinda high, but it is a negotiable.
They didn't tell us that when they presented it, did they?
No.
Did you happen to check or see the Port Dutch paper yesterday with the deal on the solar panels?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't read it thoroughly, but, so, are we gonna try to get a hold of that guy?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a call this week and call him.
Good.
I got it back from the school, and they're under a different entity type thing, and they've checked into it before, and they're not interested, so
Good.
I'm gonna go ahead and call him and see if we can't get it in here for us.
I did a presentation. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, what else do you have for us, Vicki?
Some quick things. This is a new report of an injury, it's confidential, please. This is a closing of a previous one, so that, oops, that's my copy, here's your copy. That's also confidential, so keep that amongst you. Mid-American said that they did a check on our, activities have been completed, they've done some work in the area. It just says that everything's okay, and if you have any questions, give them a call. Another question from our IJCP and EBS, we had to file that 509A last week, that's required every year, and then there's a fee for that to be filed, it's like $300, $400, and she asked if we wanted to pay for that from our partial self-funding account, or to bill it to us, or bill it on our monthly billing. If you put it on the monthly billing, it makes it confusing. I just said take it out of the partial self-funding, which is what we've done with a lot of things, so I told her I would let you know that.
Yep.
Renee also came up with some, just some initial wording on if you want to do secondary road as 10 hours effective next year. So she suggested that you take a look at this,
Okay.
see what you think. So I'm giving that to you just to review. Let me know your thoughts, and I can get those back to Renee then.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it. Okay. I need a motion to go into drainage then.
I would make the motion to go into drainage. Second.
First and second, all in favor?
Right.
We are in drainage.
You're welcome, thank you guys. Carl, there's one more thing in this mail for you. I'm sorry I don't reach across from you. I forgot to grab it out and give it to you.
Okay, thank you.
So, as far as this would be a proposal by us for the
I haven't seen
10
it,
work
so
days?
yes, I would believe so, that's probably what she has written out.
We just basically propose it.
Yeah, go through the union.
Then they take it to that, they can usually go and discuss it.
No, oh, yeah, no. Made it kind of hard to hear that guy, he's pretty soft-spoken, so I'm hoping my recorder picked up a little bit of it.
Comes in handy.
Yeah.
You save everything?
Oh, no, I kind of go through it after, done writing a story, and been out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go from,
From time to time. and those-
When,
I
every month, we do that, figure about saving all these things.
June first.
Would it be like around the time change?
Yeah,
I don't have that kind of
like that
capacity on
long.
my digital recorder.
Yeah.
I guess,
Yeah.
whatever it is, 60, 70 hours.
Oh, you're here.
I never.
I didn't think you'd be here.
I don't save.
How do you feel?
And there's a few things on there.
What?
Now I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Watch out for
They're
that.
dancing all weekend.
I think the school vote, time school's out, first of June,
Yeah.
Maybe my little bicycle did the older guy right there.
Yeah, that's right. I can relate to that.
Those
lubricant, those titanium,
That's right.
I've never tried that.
Older generation.
Once you get over the,
Make sure it keeps confidentiality, some of the confidentiality.
drill that bone up, put the titanium shaft, that's what I had the hardest time with the ache of the,
But that sounds just painful to begin with.
well, it is. I mean, if you ever pull that up on YouTube and watch them
No,
doing these
no, you
surgeries,
want to.
you
You wanna watch it before you...
I'm looking forward to the video of
It's
Bruce,
about
of Rick's
video you've
crowning his tooth this week, maybe we'll get a video of that.
You get it, watch that video before you get it done.
There's a lot of things I'd rather do than have a crown done too.
Yeah, I just,
How
Like,
did
I
it go?
swear they just, they did me,
walk
and
with
then
me
they
for 2
tried
extra days for
to
bleeding.
mess with it and see if it.
Ooh.
Really did.
Put me on Coumadin and it thinned out the blood and they couldn't get the
And
bleeding
then they
stopped.
hit you, and they sure, you felt that?
That's good for them too, so that sting.
I'm just nervous.
No, I don't mind you standing on my
Thanks, sir.
chest while you're
You betcha.
drilling, but
Have to take it easy for a little bit. Get it worked
Day
back
or two.
together.
what kind of mischief did you bring?
I just gave you the basics of the reclassification report for D&E. I officially gave it to Trish this morning, 33 D&E, the Holland job.
Okay.
So yeah, we're presenting it and asking you to set a hearing date on it. And I'd review it with you just briefly if it is.
So this is out Rich Williams,
Yes, yes.
Rich Williams Brothers.
Yes, correct. The aerial photograph, the red line, the east half of this is basically lateral D, and then from the yellow line to the left is lateral E. And just so you know what we did, this is one where the surface water from the upper part of E gets to D. So, what we've done with the reclassification is, we have included the upper part of E in the printout for lateral D, but we have reduced their points considerably because they just get surface water, not the subsurface water. The subsurface water in E all follows E tile. So, the first 3 pages with all the numbers on it, let's see, yeah, is for D, and that reflects everybody in D being treated pretty well equal based on soils, and then the people in E are brought in, and they are reduced. We spread let's see what we spread, $360,000 on branch D. And Trish and I went over that last week to try and come up with that number.
Branch three, 360,000.
Branch D, yeah, yep. Now, we put in a number to spread on E, just so people could have an idea.
Yeah, that was my next question.
Yeah, we put $20,000 in branch E. So if there's a repair in E, the printout you see for E with dollars is what people would pay for that, for a $20,000 levy. That's a very significant repair bill, so it should be a long time before they even get anything like that, so. But when you start looking at the costs for that, I mean, it's, per acre, it's like $13 to $30-some an acre is all. Now, this one has a little everything in it. The color drawing just behind the ones with the numbers on it shows how we reduced the points for E that drains to D. You can see the numbers. We reduced it 50% right away, and then we added more reduction as they got further and further away from D, so that it's color-coded. The ones in the beige color are not reduced, they're all D. And then when you get to the green area, that's a split right between D and E, so we just put it 50%, and then as you get further away from D, we reduced it more, for a maximum reduction of 70%. That's all reflected in the dollars that we had in the previous pages.